Everyone, welcome back to She Rises from SIDS. So, I am filming this on a day that persons would expect for me to be sad, be depressed. It is August 24th that I'm filming this. Today actually marks about 5 months since my baby passed away, and I can't really describe what I'm feeling today. I guess because I'm on the road to accepting it, I don't feel sad. I don't feel despair. I don't feel that constant sense of tragedy that I felt before in previous months. It's not that I'm not thinking about her. I miss her crazy. Like today I was looking through the photos and looking through the videos, and my mind was on her like crazy. Sometimes when I look at myself in the mirror and I catch a glimpse of my facial expressions to certain things, I can see my baby. And it makes me realize more and more that had she lived, she would have been just like me, you know? But I'm today grateful for her life and the memories. I'm just so grateful for the memories. But that is not what I want to talk to you all about. Today, I want to bring to you the topic of the blame game. Now, what is the blame game? It's a game that you play with yourself or other persons engage you in when it comes to tragedies. Why did she die? Why did he die? If you had done this, if I had done this or that, he or she would have been here. It's this constant personal and interpersonal battle that we can have with ourselves or with our loved ones when it comes to the death of our children or our loved ones. It's an unfair battle because blaming yourself or blaming the other person is like going around in a hamster wheel. There is no resolve. There's only resentment. Resentment breeds all kinds of other issues and things in your life that could be clearly avoided. But unfortunately, so many people go down this road and they don't recognize that the most important thing that you have to constantly remember is that whatsoever God has willed, He has willed. Now, I don't know if everyone on this channel or who may come to this channel believes in God. But I can tell you that for me personally, my belief in God, my faith in Him intensified after the death of my baby. I always loved Jesus. I always loved God. I always had a desire to serve Him. But I was imperfect in this desire. I told a friend today, and I quoted the scripture. I'm not sure which chapter or verse, but I know it's in Timothy. You know, it speaks to having a form of godliness, but denying the power. You know, many of us who have gone through tragedies, we are constantly in a state of depression. And of course, depression is natural. It's a natural thing to occur after the death of a loved one. But we're constantly in a depressive state of mind because we believe and we know that God exists, for those of you who do, but we lack the power and will to understand that God is ultimately in control. And whatever He has willed to happen, He has allowed it to happen for a reason. You know, I spent the first few months blaming myself, blaming the environment that I lived in. I'm not talking about my physical home, I'm talking about the outside environment. As I touched on the previous video, I think it was probably my first video or second video explaining to you what SIDS was. I explained to you that the area that I lived in had experienced a dump fire. And between blaming myself for what had happened, I blamed the dump fire. I blamed the fact that I went to work that day. I blamed everything. I looked at everything and tried to cast blame in those things without recognizing that, yes, if it's sad, I don't understand why me. I don't understand why this has happened. But God is ultimately in control. And He allowed it to happen for a reason. He allowed it to happen for a reason. If we can control every minute moment in our lives, there would be no place for God. There would be no place for God to stand with you. And so, we can't control our lives. We can't control what happened. But whatever has happened, it happened for a reason. And those answers may not come right now. They may not come tomorrow, next week. They may not come for a long time, but they will come. And sometimes answers come in the form of blessings, bigger blessings. And so that's something that I hold on to. Now, in respect to family members who may cast blame on, if you had done this, this wouldn't have happened. If we had chosen this doctor, or if you had done it this way and that way. For those people around you who are unfortunately placing blame towards you for a situation you had no control of, you pray for them. You pray for them so that they can understand and see that ultimately one day they realize that God is in control. There's nothing that you could have done, they could have done to prevent what had happened. Because you're not in control, God is. And that might be rough to hear. And it might sound rough and unrealistic to hear me say that. For God's sake. I just lost a baby 5 months ago. How is it that I have such a composed view on life? It's because my faith is that big. My faith is that big. And I want to encourage you to know that your situation is so temporary. Your pain is so temporary. It doesn't mean you're not going to feel and have emotions. It doesn't mean that the memories won't make you cry. But I'm letting you know that your pain is temporary. There's so much more over the horizon for you and your family. So much more. You were graced by an angel. I know that because in my situation, I was literally graced by an angel. My family was graced by an angel. My daughter was, I call her peculiar. She was the sweetest but most peculiar baby I've ever encountered in my life. And I've encountered many babies. I love children. To this day, seeing a child makes me smile. I love babies. I love kids. But my daughter was so different. So different. And now that I look back in time, I realize why she was so different. It's as if God has sent an angel in our lives to wake us up. Perhaps instead of blaming yourself and for what happened, perhaps you can take the line of thought that this little person that came to you was your wake-up call, was your way to be saved, was your way to shake you out of a situation that may have not been the best for you. It might have been an indication to you that you need to look up instead of at yourself. So don't blame yourself. Do not blame yourself. Releasing control over your situation is the first step to acknowledging that what happened was not your fault. And for the persons around you who may try to blame you or blame circumstances, once they can identify that it's not their fault and it's not your fault, that what has happened was in the plan. And pretty soon, the plan will be revealed in all of its true form. So thank you for sitting with me and watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to like and share with somebody who may need to hear these words. As always, I love you guys. Be blessed and take care.